you about some of the success that we find in our home using some of the products that we have. I wanted to share of a big one that happened last night, which is cool because we don't have this happen really ever anymore. But one of our older sons who's living with us, it was kind of cool to see the reaction, but he had come home and was diarrhea and vomiting. And I'd made some suggestions and he was still not feeling it. He didn't want to do it. And so he coming to me is like a big aha moment because he doesn't like listening to mom, you know, when moms are right or moms use weird things or it's different than what the world is doing. And so he was super sick. I mean, I've anyone in our family that's sick for many years. And so he came in and I just thought, well, you know, I can try a couple things that I have right here, right now, but without doing a detox bath or doing some of the other things I've recommended, I'm not sure how well it will work because when we're not helping to support our bodies have a harder time healing themselves and responding to natural remedies when we're not willing to do those better things. So I went ahead and I just grabbed my Digize is the number one go-to when we're dealing with those experiences. And I had him put some coconut oil in his hand, which is super easy, and I just keep it sitting around the house in all different areas because this is one that we want to dilute. And I seriously put 10 drops on his hand, and it's really kind of tricky. If you're vomiting, we cycle our hand on our stomach in one direction, and if we're diarrhea, we go the other direction. So for those of you out there using essential oils, especially Digize, where he was doing both, I gave him the handful of oils with coconut oil, and he said, just go up and down, right? Because it's going to work one way or another. Our bodies use these because they're adaptogenic and they will adapt to what they need them for. And so he used the essential oil straight up and down on his belly all over. So he put that on and I went to check on him, and seriously, 5 minutes later, he was finally in bed asleep. And that was a huge blessing. Oh, the other thing we did too is we took the vitality of Digize and I got him a shot glass of milk, and then we put 5 drops in and I had him shoot it back, and then he fell asleep. So he woke up probably 4 hours later and came up and said, can you put this in my orange juice for me? And I'm like, son, you're standing right there. It's right by the sink. Go ahead and just drop it in yourself. You'll be fine. And it's kind of funny that not feeling well, I can't do it myself, man flu type thing. I'm like, the tools are there, use them. Okay, so that's the thing about them is we have these tools. If we're not going to use them, then they won't work. But when we use them, they're absolutely amazing. And to me, magical, because I love not having to make an appointment, wait 5, 6, 7 hours or 2 days to get in to see somebody for them just to tell me what I really already knew what I could do. We really have been medicine free in our home for about 3 years, being able to use things that are natural around our home. One thing that happened to me this last weekend that was huge for me because I have not had to experience this for 4, 5, 6 years. I have not had to take any allergy or asthma medication in 3 years since switching out switching chemicals and toxins from our home. But I had an allergic reaction to something this weekend while we were traveling to state swim meet. And I had just gone in, really don't know what it was I was exposed to. There are a couple different things in my mind that it could have been. But to skip that long story, I went out to my car and I keep several different mixes of essential oils in all of my things that I use, whether it's my purse or my car. This is one that I use in a bottle because I can put this in a diffuser. I can apply it to my skin. The other ones I use are just rollers. I put them in roller bottles like this and put roller tops on them so that I can just roll them onto my skin wherever I need them. And so I had gone into the swimming pool, came out, and no joke, I started coughing. Like my airway was starting to restrict. I was getting hives in my underarm and on my side. My face was swelling. My eyes were swelling, and I was itching like crazy. And it literally came on within like 3 minutes. It was super scary. But got into the car, did a little bit of thinking because I was about ready to call like 911 if I wasn't going to be able to breathe. But I got my roller that I keep in my car. And for allergies, asthma, what I do is I roll it along the jawline. I rolled it up and down my neck and then spread it all over the place because I needed it to start kicking in ASAP. And then I took the roller and I rolled it on the outside of both of my ears, and then I just took it and rubbed it in. I always put it under my nose, and then I inhale it because we have an emotional connection to being able to help ourselves heal. And so being able to use those scents, the therapeutic benefits, and breathe them up into the amygdala helps to calm things down. And so I would say within 15 to 20 minutes, absolutely immediately, things started coming down to where I knew I wasn't going to have to call an ambulance. But it took about 20 minutes for me not to feel any of the effects, not any more itching or scratching. I must have still had hives on my face. My mother-in-law asked me how I was feeling. My eyes still felt a little puffy, but I could open them and I wasn't having any problem. So I was super excited that in that huge emergency for me, something I've experienced my whole life, but have not had any problems with the last 3 years, this was my game changer. And in these little bottles that I mixed together is lemon, lavender, peppermint, and copaiba. So huge rescue for me. The other thing I wanted to share with you, actually, kind of funny, this is a scab from just even a simple cold sore that started coming on with stress. And I was traveling the other day, and all I had with me was Melrose. So I started putting that on it, and literally within 4 hours that evening, the bump inside was gone, and it's just a scab now. So it never even broke the skin, never came up. It was starting to feel kind of yucky the day that, I was feeling the bump, and I'm like, oh, dang, it's coming on. But usually I would use what's called purification or tea tree. But in my opinion and experience, tea tree and Melrose go hand in hand. They're pretty much like the brother sister. If you don't have one, use the other type thing. So Melrose was what I used and put on there, and literally it dried out all my lips. So then I was using my chapstick all day long, which I thought I had in my pocket. I do over here. Put it on my lips to then hydrate them. And this has lavender in it, and it's been super helpful to heal my lips from the dryness of drying them out. So the other thing I want to talk about is my son, my younger one, was getting some sinus situations because he was exposing himself to colognes, lotions, things like that. Kept doing it, kept getting clogged up here, did not want to treat or do any natural things like mom wants him to. Finally got to the point he came to me and had a huge migraine set in. And he was crying, screaming, 14 years old, not feeling good at all. Same thing, we reached for the Melrose, got the Melrose on the cheekbones, on the forehead. And then we did a sinus cleanse with, I make a quart jar of the mixture, 6 packets of the salt mix, and then 1 drop of Melrose, and we do the sinus cleanses. To me, in my opinion, from what our experience has been, this works just like what you would normally use an antibiotic, but it works amazingly for viruses also. So we're not trying to deal with medicines, put them through our system, affect our kidneys and our liver. It's super neat to be able to use an essential oil that will fight the germs, fight the bacteria and the viruses, and help us to feel better. And so those are our experiences as our family. We continue to do this on his face and forehead for probably 4 or 5 days, along with the detox fast that I always talk about and I swear by. And then, of course, within a day or two, we switched to tea tree or purification. And then with the headache that was massive for him that night, we then took some of my most favorite essential oils that I just keep with me all the time, but Aroma Seas, and then Copaiba and Deep Relief, and we put those all across the forehead. Amazing. And then we put it on the back of the neck. We always breathe in the scent of the essential oils to help with our amygdala and our limbic system, to help us as it kicks in an emotional response to healing. It's just super, super cool. So if you oily friends out there are watching this and you've never done that, so like when you put on Deep Relief on a muscle or a joint, then breathe it in, because what that does to kick in the reaction is super cool. So give it a try. And then I got the impression as I was reading through some stuff to take Release, which is something I use with my AFT sessions and our high school kids that I'm working with right now and people online, is to take Release and put this on the bottom of his feet. I've never thought of that. I read it and I thought, what's it going to hurt? I have it right here. So we put that on his feet, put all the oils on, and then a cool washcloth across the forehead. He had been miserable, super, super miserable, and so awesome to watch him within 5 minutes be out like a light. And he slept hard for about an hour, was up and going, and has not had the migraine come back. It was so super powerful and cool. And those are just a few of the stories that I could tell you. But that's just our family in the past week. We've avoided going out, going to doctors, having to fill prescriptions, anything like that, because I had the tools at home to be able to help my family. My son is up and going to work today after his bad day yesterday. I don't know what hit him, but I made all the kids step up on our supplements that we use, our elderberry syrup. And then something I just want to mention is something that's one of my favorites, and if any of you have it out there, is I don't use synthetic perfumes because of the danger of them and also what it does to my asthma. But this essential oil called Inspiration is beautiful for a perfume. And I have fallen in love with it for the last couple weeks, and I just put this on for my perfume. So how do I wear an essential oil for a perfume? I personally, this is my own oil, so I will touch the top, put it behind your ears, down your neck, ears and neck, and then seriously put it on your wrists. Truthfully, some other things I do is I'll rub it through my hair because then I can smell it, and then rub it on the neckline of your clothes. Because as your body heats up, I don't use dryer sheets, and we use plant-based laundry soap, so I'm not diffusing chemicals while my body heats up and I'm walking around the house. But as I do heat up and do things, the essential oils on my clothes, I will be able to smell them. And so then I'm eluding and getting away from all the crazy stuff, and I've been able to be healthy. I've been able to be happy. My kids are doing amazing things, but we're all going to be exposed to things, whether we go to the grocery store, we touch a receipt from a gas station or a grocery store. We're going to have xenoestrogens, phytoestrogens. All those endocrine disruptors are a part of our world. And so the more we can eliminate the toxins and the things we're exposed to and be able to help ourselves with natural, homeopathic, naturopathic, plant-based items, it's a game changer. Of just going through my taxes and seeing how much we've saved on our medical expenses, that was huge eye-opening to me. 4 to 7 years ago, we were spending anywhere from $15,000 to $24,000 in a year on medical expenses. That wasn't chiropractic and it wasn't dental, it was medical and prescriptions. And then when I started this natural journey 3 years ago, that came down to almost a little bit less than $6,000, but I was still on some medications and healing, working to strengthen my body and support it so my body could heal myself. So essential oils don't heal us. Supplements don't heal us. They support our bodies to be strong so they can heal themselves. Our bodies are suffering and deficient in minerals and vitamins, and it can't always, with the immune system, fight off everything. So a lot of people are getting sick. A lot of people are battling autoimmune diseases. They're battling sicknesses, cancers, all sorts of things happen when we are overexposed to dangerous things. So just kind of super awesome that when we are living a more natural lifestyle, you're ditching the toxins out of your life, your body can work better. And so when you then introduce an essential oil, or say this 2.5 weeks, well, I'm headed to Ecuador. I start this on Monday, para-free. They have something amazing to eliminate and start working on the parasites that I already have naturally from eating the foods that we do, from having pets, from going camping and walking in the dirt and eating sushi now and then, which I don't eat a lot, but I still have, eating undercooked meats and other things that we do. We're going to start on para-free so that then when we get back and we're still on this regimen, we'll be able to be killing the eggs and the adults and all the different parasites that we might possibly pick up, which most likely you always pick up parasites when you travel abroad. But they have some amazing supplements that help our bodies to support us to be strong so that we don't have to have those problems or fall into the unwellness line of life. So I love being able to support my body, to have better health, better wellness, and it just brings on abundance, because also when we're saving our money and being proactive, we've saved so much money. Even though we put our money back into buying healthy things, we got a pay raise. When I looked at what was going on with how much we spent on medical in 2018, that went down drastically by several $1,000s. And I know from what I've kept in my own receipts, not all of them are PBA free, but I'm doing better with that. I guarantee we've spent probably less than $1,000 in anything medical. And that comes down to just sports physicals that my kids needed to play sports. So that's super awesome to not have to go to the doctor every other week or be in the hospital or run to the emergency room on the weekend. We have so many tools that we can help ourselves. And when you're living a more natural, it doesn't take a lot of work to live more naturally either. It's about being aware and just making different choices. So if you guys ever have any questions, if you want some guidance, you want me to cheer you on in your journey, I'm your girl. let me know. I will definitely help you and teach you stuff that I have learned and stuff that I have experimented with and I have success with. And if there's anything you ever have questions on, feel free to reach out, whether it's in a private message or even ask the questions below. So I hope you all have a super awesome Friday and reach out, and I love communicating with you. Have a great weekend.